We are back at the magical mountain, the Hi-Tec Oils, Bathurst 6 Hour for the 9th time. Hi everyone, welcome along to our coverage from Mount Panorama today. Happy Easter wherever you're tuning in. I'm Aaron Noon and alongside me is the 2000 Bathurst 1000 winner, Jason Bargwanna. Firstly, happy Easter, my friend. Good to see you back here in pit lane at the mountain. We've got a massive day of motorsport here to come.
Oh, this is very exciting. We rolled in the circuit here at 6:30 this morning. That campfire smoke hanging over the back of the pits, the smell of bacon and eggs, the atmosphere was electric, the tension up and down pit lane here. It is chock-a-block full.
I just want to touch on what we're going to have next here on the track at Bathurst, and that is the Trico Trans Am Series. We've got perfect conditions, 27 degrees, weather's beautiful, clear blue skies, but it is a combined field of the Trico Trans Am Series and the TA2 Muscle Car Series, a record field of 41 Mustangs, Camaros, and there's even a Dodge Challenger in among the mix there just to mix it up. I think the Easter Bunny's floating around as well. It's a magic day here at Mount Panorama. Let's get it underway. Let's get the muscle cars, the TA2 cars and the Trans Am cars on track. And in the commentary box is a man who's had a very big morning. He's ready to go. He's hyped up. It's Happy Easter to Matt Nolte alongside Richard Craill.
Oh, the mountain looks marvellous today on the Easter long weekend, and what a celebration of motorsport it has been. It's just about to get even better because a massive field is rolling out. The muscle cars are on the mountain. It's round 2 of the Trico Trans Am Series.
Hello to you and hello to everybody on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Hope you're enjoying your Easter long weekend. We sure are here at the Hi-Tec Oils Bathurst 6 Hour, and we gear up for one of the most historical races of the short history, with the Trans Am and TA2 muscle cars joining forces for the first time in a field of 41 cars. It'll be 40 today, sadly one withdrawing for today's race. James Golding, back-to-back poles here on the mountain. Nathan Hearn denied his first pole here at Bathurst. That's the 4th second place result for him. Todd Hazelwood has James Moffat on the second row, a couple of champions on that row. Nash Morrison, Jared Hughes, Blake Tracy and Elliot Barber. Big shout out to Jared Hughes. He's the poles here in the TA2 point score for this round. Ben Bargwanna and Ben Grice, Jackson Rice is behind him again on the 7th row with Adam Garwood, Jack Smith and Lachlan Evanet, down to Ben Gomersall, who glanced the wall earlier today, and Josh Thomas. The field just keeps on keeping on.
Charlie Nash is there, Hayden Jackson, Cameron Lawson, Mark Bailey, Graham Cheney, who's been busy because he just qualified for the 6 Hour in a Ford Mustang. He's in a Camaro in this one. Josh Webster from a little bit further back than perhaps he would like to be in the field. Continues on, John Hollinger, Mark Crutcher right at the very back.
A timed race for these two 45-minute events that make up the second round of the Trico Trans Am Series, incorporating with the TA2 Muscle Car Series presented by Maritimo Yachts. A field of 18 cars are mixed up in here. They'll get points for that series as well, with Jared Hughes scoring the pole for that. We'll talk about that during the race, but there's a lot to get through here. First, getting through Hell Corner. Second, getting through lap number 1. And hopefully we don't see any yellow flags. I'm asking for a lot here on a Saturday afternoon with 40 cars that are very, very pumped up to be here. But Beebs will dictate the pace in that CTE car for Gary Rogers Motorsport, the reigning champ on the inside of row 2, and Nathan Hearn, as they make their way. Wait for the photographers down here in turn number 1. It is going to be peak hour as they wait for the reds to be extinguished. Trico Trans Am back at Mount Panorama for the 6th time, and it looks good. We're away, and straight away Hearn wants to get down to business and rubbing panels with Golding, who will lead into turn number 1. Everybody in rows of 2 watching for the background as we take the V8 Sleuth drone cam and start chasing the field. You want it busy? You've got it. You're in car with Jordan Cox.
Just in behind Elliot Barber in the Sure entry, brand new purple livery. Hearn sweeps to the outside. He clearly feels like he needs track position early in this race. If he's down on straight line speed, he is going to struggle to fight when they get to Conrod. But it's the Beebs. Golding gets up around the outside. Hazelwood, championship leader, side by side with Hearn through the kink towards the cutting. That's big. And he drops the spot. Hearn holds on. 2 by 2 still as they climb the shelf for the first time.
And everybody makes it up through there. It was Jordan Cox who was the only car on the outside of the cutting. Surprise, surprise. And managed to make a pass on Elliot Barber in the Sure Chevy Camaro, celebrating 100 years. Oh, that was close. If there's not contact. Across the top of the mountain, over 200 kilometres an hour.
They're still going.
It's one long train of cars on their way down into the dipper. Back in car with the Blue Gold Industries Ford Mustang, former champion, and has had so much success here over the years, is Nathan Hearn chasing James Golding on lap number 1. They've ticked 2 boxes so far for us.
Yeah, the third that you didn't get to on the formation lap was number 3, complete the race.
Yeah, correct. What a sight and what a sound.
Oh, it warms the cockles of your heart, doesn't it? Amazing stuff. Muscle car racing alive and well in Australia. Hearn definitely being helped by the toe. He's had a good run on Golding here. James is going to have to position his car in the middle of the road. Cox is sliding the Schaeffler car around under brakes. But Golding felt the need to defend, which was interesting down there under brakes. Hearn had a really good run out of the elbow and all the way down Conrod. Ben Grice up a spot, so he moves to 11th. Battle on for the lead.
Now, is that a lock-up or is that smoke?
It's on, that's what it is. Almost too wide. Great drive out of the final corner for Todd Hazelwood. He's just got a bumper bar there. There's contact with Hearn, who holds on to second. Todd Hazelwood's got the elbows out early, and right now Golding, the cork in the bottle, in a 5-car battle for the lead.
How was the overlap on pit straight? That could have had 2 cars in the fence.
There was some, marginal, yes, but there was some.
Hazelwood in car, the TFH High reigning champ, a brand new Ford Mustang for the 2024 champion. It's bringing everybody up to the front, including Nash Morris in the Norwell Motorplex Super Cheap Auto car as they climb up through Griffins. Grice has got Davies and Blake Tracy behind him up to the top. 4 of 5 cars scrapping for the lead here on lap 2. How close do you like it?
Very, and look who's cruised up to the back of that as well. Jordan Cox went from the back half of qualifying, ended up bunkered in the gravel trap down at Murray's Corner. The end of that session, ultimately started back half of the top 10. He's worked his way up a couple of spots, so positive stuff. Up from 10th place, he's 6th. Just makes you want to sit there and go, no, 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 no. It's so good.
Just cool. Down the mountain we go again. If it settles just for a few seconds. Hazelwood on Hearn with Morris, Moffat, Cox, Jared Hughes in the Road Active Suspensions Chevy Camaro. It's a brand new car for the IES team, headed by Paul Hadley and Graham Cheney. It's down into the elbow we go.
Golding really struggling to hold on to the rear end of his car, knocks across the top, and it had a big tank slapper coming out of the dipper. And I wonder if that's what helped Nathan Hearn get to the back of him last time by. His exit from the elbow this time has been much better. And Hearn now a little bit exposed to Todd Hazelwood, the championship leader. Down to the kink at the chase. Well over 270 clicks, these cars. There's no move on just yet. There's a move on here, though.
Oh, DJ Barbs makes the move on Hughes, who climbs the curb, washes off a bit of speed. There'll be Blake Tracy just behind in the 5, one of the fleet of rookies we have this year in Trico Trans Am. The auto openers number 5 with Grice in tow. The ICL Racing prepared, All-American Driveline, an Auto Parts Mustang. Hazelwood goes again, and this time he gets it done into Hell Corner, taking no for an answer.
They telegraphed it a lap ago. That time executed it perfectly. It's almost just waited that extra little breath once Hearn's the front of the car dipped. That was when Hazelwood committed to the brake pedal and got the car up the inside. And what it's done, it's cost Nathan on exit of Hell Corner, and it's opened the door for the Flash to go around the outside and bashing doors with Nathan Hearn. If he can hold on at the outside here, he might get this spot. Watching it behind them is Moffat. So up the inside, the Flash has got the spot. This is Hearn. Has Moffat got it too? You bet he does. He's the reigning champ. Well, he's a former champion in Trans Am. He knows how to drive these cars, and he's a little bit fired up because in between qualifying and the race, some penalties were handed down very much post-race after Simmons Plains, and he was one of them. So he's looking to make amends for that. Here's that pass first from Todd Hazelwood.
Shannon's replay telling the story is the one taking no this time. He'd worked hard to get up to the back of that 29 Blue Gold Industries car, but how was Moffat? Just stayed there, committed on the left-hand side on the way up to the cutting, and he now moves up behind Nash Morris. As Golding leads another lap, 2:11.67 for Hazelwood. The gap 9/10 of a second with Morris, Moffat and Hearn all filling the top 5. Then it's Cox, Elliot Barber, Jared Hughes coming in the shot with Ben Grice, Blake Tracy, Tom Davies, who scored a podium down at Simmons Plains in the 42 black GRM car, is in 11th. Adam Garwood, the Maverick Performance car number 2, is 12th position ahead of Ben Bargwanna. Jackson Rice, Jack Smith in the SCT Logistics car in 15th. Lachlan Evanet, Ben Gomersall up to 17th. Josh Thomas, Chase Hoy and Ayrton Hodson, the Kiwi star, back in 20th position as we work lap 6 around Mount Panorama.
I was waiting for you. I was taking this lap off for you to read the entire field.
Time we got there, all changed anyway.
There's a bit of punch and counter punch going on at the top of the field between James Golding and Todd Hazelwood. So Golding's car's very good across the top. Hazelwood better coming down the hill, down Conrod Straight. Now a little bit of that will be getting a tow from the leader and those extra valuable sort of straight line K's an hour on the run into the chase. Fascinating battle between the two of them. It's very tight. Nothing between them, 0.5, and Hazelwood looking particularly strong this lap. We cast our minds and vision a little bit further back, and Barber shortcuts, and he's followed by the other Camaro. There's another car going slowly in front, so Jared Hughes also shortcut across the top. Oh, and does he get it stopped? He just, I think, before he found the wall at the dipper.
It wasn't Davies, it was a similar looking car, but I think that's had contact with the wall on the way down the mountain. And that's what sent those two scattering to the left-hand side.
And race control will be okay with that as long as you don't gain a lasting advantage, but they were taking evasive action, so they should be all right with that. It's the one point of this racetrack where you actually can get a curb strike here, and it's a big curb strike because it's a shortcut. Meanwhile, Moffat v Morris. James had a run at the chase. Morris slow out. You can see the rear of the Norwell Motorplex car sliding around. He'll block and cover his line down towards Murray Corner. It'll give Moffat the over-under, and he'll get really good drive out of here. Morris parks the car in the middle of the road. The leaders have closed right up as well, but the fight on for third and fourth. And Moff, just two wheels on the white line, cost him a little bit into the corner. It feels like Nash Morris is clinging on by this one at the moment. He's got Brody Kostecki on the headset this weekend, down in the lane, coaching him through. Pretty good guy at car racing, good guy to have in your ears, cool voice of reason. And right now he'll be going, just place your car where you need to be to cover off from the vastly experienced James Moffat, who's a champion in this category 2 years ago. And of course, a multiple podium finisher in the great race as well.
Two battles of two at the front of the field, up through the Worth cutting, looking for the windscreen of Todd Hazelwood, TFH Mustang with Golding ahead. Lap number 7, it was Warren Wadley that was the car that was cruising down the hill, so it wasn't Tom Davies. Very similar looking paint job at the 88 machine on his return. Haven't seen Warren in the field for a couple of years now. Coming to play with us at Bathurst this weekend in the Trico Trans Am. TA2 muscle car, joint weekend, 40 cars. I talked about Chiara Zabatakis not starting today's race. There was too much damage from the incident earlier today. The good news is they will have that car ready to go. And the first female racer in Trans Am TA2 will get her big shot. She's been so excited about being here at Bathurst, but it bit her quite hard earlier today. This is going to be a bite. Down the bottom is Moffat and Morris. Moffat and Morris down at the elbow, facing the wrong direction, and watch the field just pile on by.
It didn't look likely, did it? Moff gets the thing flick spun around. Here we go. Lots of commitment to get this down the inside, and the car was sliding right at that moment. Had it all locked up into the side of Nash Morris, and the 67 car sent spinning. Don't think they're going to like that upstairs at Motorsport Australia Race Control. That's a huge moment, battling for third and fourth position.
Oh, and it's been more contact. It's Charlie Nash on the way through, so they're team cars for Norwell Motorplex, and the rookie has made heavy contact at the elbow, and it's put the Tickford Autosport Mustang to the left, and he is out of the race. We caught the tail end of that as Morris was returning. Nash got him.
It's such a tricky place to do a flick spin because it's blind and it's steep, and there's absolutely no vision there when you're pointing the wrong way. Garwood down the inside of Grice. This has turned out to be for a spot in the top 10. Bargwanna in and amongst it too, getting the elbows out. And Jackson Rice, he just wants to make your life difficult by getting to the back of Grice further up in front. So it's teeing off everywhere, let alone at the front, where Golding is continuing to be harassed by Todd Hazelwood, who has not been able to find his way past yet. Big moments in Trico Trans Am this year. It all feels box office everywhere you look, and this is what happened. So Morris had turned his car around and was just trying to get it fired up in first gear, and Charlie Nash came flying down unsighted, and big damage, and that'll put a scratch on the 67 machine and scratch it from the race as well.
Did his best, Charlie, he came in hot. He saw the car there at least, but such a downhill drop. Inevitably there was contact, and now Cox, well, he's trying to recreate the improved production highlight from years ago with that move at the top of McPhillamy. And keeps the car on the island as he keeps that pursuit of Nathan Hearn. And what a turnaround it's been for the 33 car. After that spin during qualifying, couldn't get the car out of the gravel, started today's race well down the field, and that's more damage to Warren Wadley. Remember, he was limping back to the pits, so there's been another incident, and it looks like a Transformers car now, the way it's come back into pit lane.
TO2 guys, that thing is a massive punch. They're a space frame chassis car, and the bodies are quite lightweight and they just bolt on top, so it's not like it's all structural. They're designed to break apart like that, but that's extraordinary. See if we can get to the bottom of that one. Meanwhile, we take a deep breath as everyone hangs on from a really frenetic part. 20 minutes to go in this race. Golding, Hazelwood, Hearn and Cox started 10th up to 4th. Elliot Barber runs in 5th position. He started this one in 8th place. Jared Hughes is up to 6th position and leading the way of the TO2 brigade. And that thing has been absolutely pulverised in the right rear quarter.
Has he been hit by someone, or has he lost control and backed the car in either way?
A little from column A, a little from column B, perhaps.
Turned to a fender bender or a street stock now in the paddock, and that won't be going anywhere today. Good news that roll cage has done what it's meant to do, but we'll chase what's happened to the 88 machine as Wadley jumps out of the 88 machine. The start of today's race, a long way down in 39th position. In race number 1, the result of this will set the grid for tomorrow's finale. Another 45-minute journey around the mountain before. And now Hayden Jackson, and he's gone up the escape road here at Hell Corner. At least he's parked out of the shade, and the lone Dodge Challenger is stopped and probably far enough down the escape road there to not need the safety car in this one. So the 81 machine that started 22nd in today's race, seemingly out of today's one, while down the field, Etten Hodson and John Holland just starting to make their way forward. Hodson, who raced last weekend in New Zealand for John Roberts' team in the TA2 NZ series. Great to have him over here driving for Ash Jarvis Racing. Ash, a former TA2 Muscle Car Series champion in the formative years of the series. And Etten, of course, contesting with the Anderson Motorsport team, local-based Bathurst team, and finished on the podium at the first round at Sydney Motorsport Park back in February.
1.7 now, so this phase of the race, he's got very, very good car speed pulling away. In fact, Nathan Hearn not catching but matching Todd Hazelwood's pace in 2nd and 3rd place, just picking that margin to Cox in 4th, and then Barber 5th position at the moment. 16.5 minutes to go in this one as we watch Crutcher and Domain Ramsey battle it out. This is for positions 24 and 25. That's the joy of such a big Trico Trans Am and TA2 series field of battles.
If you get a top 20, you've done well. Yeah, we'd always go about top 5, you've earned it. Top 10s is cool. But Noons, a top 20 finish today, you'd be taking that one to the bank.
Thomas in the pits a little earlier on with that TFH car. Plugly dropped off that. Probably the most low-tech problem we've had in this race for anybody. Yeah. And I'm just looking from pit straight here. I came down to have a look at the back of the Warren Wadley car. Oh my, it is a Chevy Barina, not a Camaro or any other TA2 car, unfortunately. But I can also see there's a car that stopped in the runoff road at Hell Corner at Turn 1. I can't see who it is from where I am, but it's been there for a while now. Clearly, race control's happy with where it is out of the way, but just keep your eyes peeled on that one.
That's Hayden Jackson, thanks Noons, parked down there at the Hell Corner. He's found some shade and out of harm's way, but any Dodge fans that were watching today are walking away from the TV or walking away from the fences now, because that was the lone one in the field. Hope we'll see him back here tomorrow as Blake Tracy is giving Jared Hughes a bit of a hurry up here in the Road Active Suspensions car as they start to push further forward with Jordan Cox and Elliot Barber up the road. So 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th position. The number 5 car, one of the rookies in this year's field, who scored a top 10 result in race 2 in Tasmania taking it up to some of the more experienced guys in the Trico Trans Am series.
It's the view from the V8 Sleuth drone overlooking Mountain Straight Winery on the left bar. Crutcher dramas for the 4-car at the elbow. Can he get it fired up? And remember what happened earlier in the race with Nash Morris trying to get his car turned around and unsighted. So Crutcher's a little bit further up the road. And the problem is here, if you flick spin the car to the right where he's pointed, you can often end up just parked across on the apex of the corner, which is completely blind. So he's actually doing the right thing there. We've seen it so many times. Now this is earlier in the lap. This is turn 2 up at Griffin's Bend. Hi-Tec Oil's car.
Robbie Farr. No, the Hi-Tec Oil Chevy Camaro has made fairly significant contact. With the rears locked, there was smoke at the back of that car, but he's backed in and he's blotted what he didn't want to do. This is good for Crutcher, just trying to reverse his way out of the incident down there, but it's going to bring the safety car.
Oh, wow,
Going to bring the safety car and give us a 10-minute dash, one would think, as Crutcher does his best to keep the car moving. I'm certain it's for the Robbie Farr car that's at turn 2. Robbie just wanted to get the car home without a crease or any marks on it this weekend and learn Mount Panorama. His first time has come to an end, and Crutcher doing the right thing and parking it behind the wall. He's done a few laps. In fact, the most experienced guy in this weekend's Trans Am T82 field.
Yeah, good job. He was driving by Braille there, just running the car down the wall to get it back down, but a good effort to get that car out of the way. So that's one less recovery we have to worry about, which will hopefully sort this safety car as a quick one so we can get a racing restart. And that is why we are under the control of the Bathurst Mazda safety car, Robbie Farr, up at Griffin's Bend. So James Golding leads Todd Hazelwood and Nathan Hearn the top 3, Elliot Barber and Jordan Cox the top 5 in race 1 of Trico Trans Am. Beautiful real estate there on Conrod Straight. That's for sale. I know my colleague Matt Nolte's been investigating property prices in the region of late. 505 there, and then Kenny Habul's place. Great part of the world. Imagine living here. This is the reason we are under the control of the Bathurst Mazda safety car. Well, it's one of the reasons, and that was Mark Crutcher's moment. It's no wonder he didn't get that car back to pit lane, because it turned out to be a much heftier impact on the run into the elbow than it initially looked.
It's on Domain Ramsey. That ended in tears. I hope there's not too much damage on the C&H Trucking 71 Camaro, but Crutch did the right thing and backed it down into the elbow, found the spot behind the wall, and we'll watch on with a handful of other drivers that have ended up out of the race. Nash Morris in the lane, Aaron Prosser, and Warren Wadley will be looking for an all-new panels on that car before it comes back out for tomorrow's event.
Now, good news. We are hearing that there will be a 1-lap dash to the flag. The lights will be out on the Bathurst Mazda safety car, and we will go racing for a 1-lap sprint with Golding, Hazelwood, Hearn, Barber, Cox, the top 5. Hughes and Tracy in the mix. Davies, 8th. Grice, he would love this scenario. From 9th position, Adam Garwood rounding out the 10. And our boy this weekend on the broadcast team, Ben Bargwanna, going from 11th in front of Jack Smith.
If you're sitting at home, maybe drag the lounge chair a few inches further closer to the screen. It's about to get wild here with 1 lap, 6.2 kilometres of Mount Panorama to decide today's opening race of the Trico Trans Am Series. Can Golding make it 3 in a row here at the mountain? He collected both wins in 2024. He's got a 7-time winner behind him in Trans Am at Bathurst, in Nathan Hearn.
And this has got opportunity written all over it for Hearn. It's got opportunity for Barber, opportunity for the Schaffler car of Cox as well. The pressure is on Golding to deliver a perfect restart, because the champion is right behind him.
And waited till the very last second to apply the throttle and make sure these guys couldn't use him on the way into turn 1. No time to settle in. It's checkers or wreckers here on the final lap of Trico Trans Am, and the chase to the mountain is on.
Don't encourage them, Nolts.
They don't need it.
Hazelwood has got a great drive out of turn 1, and he's in the toe of Golding, who's going to have to cover his line to Griffin's Bend. Hearn just watching on. He's got Barber behind. Golding holds on. Up the hill they go. Hazelwood just watching. Supercars rival lead this one. Hearn is there. It's been well behaved so far. There's still about 4Ks to go though.
Couple of genuine passing opportunities still to come on this, the final lap. Hearn trying to stay in touch with Hazelwood and Golding ahead. Grice, Garwood's come up a couple of positions on the restart lap. With the afternoon sun giving us some long shadows across the mountain. With half a lap remaining. Golding's worked hard for this, but he's got two hungry opponents behind him. Two champions in their own right.
Oh,
Grice! So sideways, as only Grice knows how, in an All-American driveline and auto parts entry. Geez, exciting to watch.
Mega sector across the top for the race leader. He pulled that little margin he needed to break the toe from Todd Hazelwood. Concerned that he might be exposed a little bit from the number one car getting a toe down Conrod and having a run at the chase. But he's built just enough of a buffer zone. Or has he? Hazelwood toes up to the back of the race leader, but I think Golding has done enough.
You can see Hearn in his mirror with the CTE car just ahead. One turn remaining past the Ridges Hotel. Golding parks it down the middle and likely to win the first race of the weekend and make it 3 in a row here at the mountain. He does it by car lead in a one-lap dash. Hearn is next, but it's on for the miners in the background. Elliot Barber, 4th position, ahead of Cox. Hughes will win T82, and they're still fighting for the minor positions. With Blake Tracy, Grice was next in 8th, Adam Garwood 9th, and Ben Bargwanna gets a top 10 result today.
If Golding was 1 car length less far in front coming out of the elbow, that had Todd Hazelwood written all over it. A close finish, James. Golding is the winner. Race 1 of Trico Trans Am at Mount Panorama. Todd Hazelwood next, Nathan Hearn, then Elliot Barber, Jordan Cox and Jared Hughes, Blake Tracy, Grice 8, Garwood into the 10 and Ben Bargwanna 10th. Then it's Jack Smith, Lockie Evanet, Chase Hoy, Gomersal up a couple of spots to 14th, Josh Thomas down in 17th, then Hodson 19th, Cameron Laws just behind. And Frenet again to that one, Matt Nolte, fiercely competitive, and Golding's restart was outstanding. Hazelwood closed towards the end of the race and just got within a couple of tenths at the line. So a great battle and really sets the tone for today. That is the scene. Let's have a look at these Trans Am cars. They're impressive pieces of machinery, and our own Benny Bargwanna took us for a tour of his own race car.
Hello everyone, Ben Bargwanna here, driver of the number 97 Hangcha Ford Mustang in the Trico Trans Am series. I'm here to give you a bit of a look about what these cars are all about. First thing you'll notice, left-hand drive. These cars come out of America, that's how they drive on the road. We've also got a 4-speed H-pattern gearbox, which is a Hollinger gearbox, built here in Australia. The next thing you'll notice, Ford Mustang badge. There's 3 different bodies of these cars. There's a Ford Mustang, a Chevrolet Camaro, and a Dodge Challenger. But underneath, they are all the exact same. The engine here is an LS3 525 horsepower crate engine. That's got lots of mumbo, lots of go. Top speed of about 280 kilometers an hour. And then the car sits on these Hoosier slick cross-ply tires. The way they're built, they're a bag tyre. They move around a lot. They're very exciting to drive on. We get 6 of these from qualifying onwards, and we can use them how we want. And the best thing about Trico Trans Am is there's 41 cars here at Mount Panorama. Young guys like myself get a go, and there's experienced guys in the field as well. The action is awesome. We're here at Mount Panorama. Watch it all. It's going to be awesome.
Want to say a big shout out to the reigning T82 Muscle Car Series champion as well, Josh Haynes, who started from the back of the field yesterday, got up to 18th position. We were kind of entrenched in what was going on at the front there, but the Herzog steel car that had damage yesterday in qualifying salvaged a really good result to get himself inside that top 20. And with a field like this, you would take that on your Easter Sundays. We take a look at the grid for the second and final race of the Trico Trans Am Series here at Mount Panorama. Golding and Hazelwood on the front row, Nathan Hearn and Elliot Barber in the Chevy Camaro, Jordan Cox and Jared Hughes on row number 3, Blake Tracy, who's been cleared to race, we'll talk about that in a moment. Ben Grice starts out of 6, Adam Garwood and Ben Bargwanna on row 5.
A little bit further back, Jack Smith for SCT Logistics, Lockie Evanet, Chase Hoy and Ben Gomersal. Dad's in the big race later today. James Moffat off the 8th row of the grid. There will be moves for the LMCT Plus driver. Josh Thomas on the 9th row alongside that man Haynes. Ayrton Hodson, the Kiwi, alongside John Hollinger a little bit further back. And then there's Mark Bailey, Webster, Coulter, Robbie Farr in a rebuilt Hi-Tec Oils car. The sprint car legend making a Bathurst debut today, and a whole list more. But there was some breaking news around Blake Tracy, Matt. He's not had a pleasant morning.
No, he's woken up with a Bathurst bug, which, as you recall, I had a few years ago. He's been in the medical centre all the morning, and he's been cleared to race, but we'll see how long he goes out there today. Coming down Comrade Straight, so watch the Blue Gold Industries car inside row number 2. Former champion in this category. With ahead, James Golding. His 3rd straight win here yesterday at Mount Panorama after that blistering qualifying time of 2:09.1 after the checkered flag. He's got the reigning champ alongside him for TFH Racing in a brand new car for 2025. Elliot Barber, does he dare to dream more than enough second places for the Sure number 100, normally in the Pioneer DJ colours, with the lone bow tie in this group of Mustangs as we take the view from Jordan Cox. Chasing some electrical dramas to get that mechanical issues yesterday once again. What's the Schaeffler Mustang got for us as here they come. The charge of the Trico Trans Am and a full grid of cars waiting for the lights to go out. The curtain raiser to the Hi-Tec Oils Bathurst 6 hour, and it begins right here, right now. Here comes Jordan Cox down the inside. Goldie will lead us through. We're 3 wide, excuse me, into turn number 1. And someone had to give. It was the Sure microphone entry of Elliot Barber, hung out to dry, and a big shower of dust from his Chevy Camaro clouds the 40-car field. As they climb the hill for the first time, we're still 3 wide. Kralsey, where's this going to go?
Oh, this is wild. There's cars with wheels off the ground. Who gives way here? Ben Grice on the outside, hanging on Blake Tracy as well. They're side by side for the lead. Hazelwood going for Golding here. This could be massive. And there's respect shown between 2 great race car drivers. And Hazelwood slots into 2nd place. How's Jordan Cox though? The full send at turn 1, committed to that move. Didn't care what happened to the other 2 on the outside. He was alongside far enough. He's got himself up to 3rd. Remember, started race 1, 10th. Great stuff from the Schaeffler driver.
Across the Mount Panorama we go for the first time. Past that high-speed shot, all different kinds of lines, a lot of confidence in the mid-pack there, glancing that curve. Jared Hughes has come up 1 position, and on the tail of Nathan Hearn coming down the hill. So we settle into this one, down through the dipper, and on their way down the Forest Elbow for the first time. Golding, Hazelwood, Cox, Nathan Hearn, Jared Hughes, the top 5.
Elliot Barber, 15th, having been run wide on the exit of turn 1. Tumbled down the field. That was Ben Bargwanna grabbing a rake into the elbow. He's up 1 spot, and we're looking for James Moffat as well to see where he's worked his way forward, because he started this one right down the back after that penalty. Here goes Hazelwood, pulls out of the toe and has a look at the kink, but there's no room there.
And Golding covers across, but here comes the Schaeffler Mustang. Caught him napping in the middle of the chase. And the Schaeffler Mustang goes ahead of the reigning champ. Pickpockets that position. So we take the view past the ridges from the reigning champ. Trying to force the issue on the white and green Mustang ahead. Gives him a bit of a knock-knock. Who's there in the final turn? That is lap 1 in the books. And here comes Jordan Cox. He's on the charge.
We have been waiting for this. Look at Gricey down the inside. Is there room? Mustang on Camaro. You bet there is, but he doesn't get it. Stop. He's gone. He spins. Well, he had the big dig. It's cost Hughes massively as well. He's struggling to get drive out of the gravel trap, but Grice goes around looking for 5th place. It ends up tumbling him down the order. What has been in the water this morning?
You could feel it walking through the dummy grid this morning. There was a lot of tension, a lot of pumped up drivers for this. Here it is on the replay, and down at the chase. First up, Charlie Nash in trouble here. Looks like the front right has collapsed on, or was it a tyre gone on the Tickford Autosport car? That was heavy damage to that with contact with his teammate at Norwell Motorplex Racing yesterday. in Nash Morris, so he's limping back, and he's missed the pit entry there, incidentally, but this was the move. Grice, little to no grip on the inside, going into Hell Corner. Hughes just got out. The safety car's been called while this has been going on, and Hughes was lucky to get out of this.
But it's dropped him a long way down the order, so like Elliot Barber at the start of the race. So Barb's jumped down to 15th. He's back up to 12th through all of that going on. A few updates for you. James Moffat up to 8th position, and this is why we're under the control of the Bathurst Mazda safety car. Nash Morris up to 23rd position now from the back of the field after a DNF in race 1. So a couple of movers and shakers that this safety car will actually help close the pack back up. Ben's got that car fired, so hopefully he can be recovered, but we need to get young Charlie Nash's car dug out of that very deep gravel trap down at Murray's.
And Charlie just couldn't get that car across to pit lane with the amount of cars that were sailing past him at high speed. So the safety cars come early here at Mount Panorama in race number 2, and there is the Tickford Autosport car, the Chris Pappas car from the last couple of seasons, and parked well and truly down there. Couldn't tell if that was a tyre or there's been contact with a wall there perhaps on the 55 car. So he's parked down there. And also Chase Hoy, DeCandelo Steel City Chevy Camaro, facing the wrong direction. He's doing the Mark Crutchaway, parking down the hill, and watch how tall Chase is when he gets out the car.
Wow.
He's well over 6 foot, and was saying to me last night in the paddock, about late in the race yesterday, he was starting to suffer from cramp, and they're asking for the firewall to be moved a little bit forward on that car because he's right in there. He's one of the tallest guys we've got in the field, the young West Aussie that's getting his first start here in 2025 for Hollinger Racing.
Wow, moving the firewall's not a particularly easy job, so good luck to them if they get permission to do that. Flat toe for, well, a quick little truck there for Grice's car, so there must be more damage than it seemed on the outside, but it looked like it was just a spin. Backed the car into the corner and it spun around, but there was contact as well. There's Charlie Nash, who's going to get tracted out of that very deep gravel trap down at Murray's Corner. And the field takes a pause and breathes under the control of the Bathurst Mazda safety car. So James Golding, Jordan Cox. We have been waiting for something like this from Coxie since joining this category, and that was excitement plus from the Sydney sider in the opening laps. Noons?
Rich, plenty of drama. I mean, we saw plenty of it yesterday, but I just saw Charlie Nash off in that sand trap. They're going to try to snag him back out and drag him back out of there. But I'd just been into the normal Motorplex team earlier because remember yesterday, Nash Morris and Charlie Nash, who are sister cars, got together when Nash was trying to recover after that contact with James Moffat at the elbow. I spoke to Richie Swan just before. He's seen it all here at Bathurst over the years, but they fixed up that Nash Morris car fine. It's good to go today, so expect him to charge his way through, but their challenge has been cut in half here, and it's always fun for commentators when you've got one bloke with the first name Nash and the other bloke with the surname Nash. Got a funny feeling we're going to run into some more dramas here today before Nolte trips over Grice and Rice.
It's only a matter of time. Thankfully, Grice has taken himself out of that equation. They've done it so many occasions the last couple of years. Grice and Rice, Nash Morris and Charlie Nash driving for the same team. But his weekend seemingly done here. The Bathurst Mazda safety car leads the field on a postcard-like day here. Hope you're enjoying your Easter long weekend. Wherever you're watching, whether it's here at this beautiful mountain or it's across Australia or across the world, it's going to be another ripper edition of the Hi-Tec Oils Bathurst 6 Hour coming up in just on an hour's time. The Bathurst Mazda safety car will peel away from the field and head back into pit lane and leave us with 24 minutes plus one lap of competition in the second and final race of Trico Trans Am, featuring the TA2 muscle cars here on this famous mountain in Bathurst.
Calm before the storm, really. Everyone will get their brain into gear for what will be a sprint race shootout. And if you cast your mind back to that energy they had at the start of this race with the car sliding around, tyre pressures down, brains looking to get engaged. Noons?
Just a quick one, guys, before this restart, the word in from race control, that turn 1 incident between Ben Grice and Jared Hughes under investigation. That's just come through, so we'll keep you abreast of that one over the course of this race.
And just as you finish that, Noons, it's been confirmed no further action. So they made that decision fairly quickly up there at Motorsport Australia Race Control. So safety car peels away, back into pit lane, headed by James Golding. Jordan Cox is second, Todd Hazelwood third, Nathan Hearn. Behind is Adam Garwood, the Maverick Performance entry, and Blake Tracy, completely under the weather today, but driving to the absolute limit in his rookie season. He's sixth ahead of Bargwanna, Moffat, Jack Smith, and Lachlan Evanet. Here we go, back to the start line with 22.5 minutes remaining of the Trico Trans Am Series.
How aggressive. James Golding looking to get some tyre temperature aboard the car. You've got to stop weaving when the lights go out on the safety car. So there's 2 kilometres of just biding your time and losing that temperature in your tyre. But away we go. Cox in the tow. The Schaffler car's got to run here. He's going to pull alongside the race leader. Jordan Cox looking to lead in Trans Am for the first time. It's a long old way around at Griffin's Bend, and that opens the door for Todd Hazelwood to buy back into this, and the champ gets by. Opportunity for Cox, but it was taken by Hazelwood.
Puts him back to third. In the Worth cutting. Oh, he gets bumped by Hearn. That'll unsettle the Schaeffler Mustang and bring about 6 more cars to the train. Across Thorman Park we go. So what a game changer that was from Hazelwood's perspective across Mount Panorama, with the race leader a matter of feet ahead. But what's going to happen with Jordan Cox? Nathan Hearn lighting him up. Can't do much across the top of the mountain, but it's spiced up this race. Big dust cloud at the top of McPhillamy Park. It's down the hill we go. Golding, Hazelwood, Cox, Nathan Hearn, and Adam Garwood.
It's been quite a drive from Garwood, hasn't it? Up to 5th place at Tasmanian, going along really well. A little bit further back, there's a bunch of drivers shortcutting at Brock Skyline, among them Nash Morris, who's one of the drivers on the comeback trail. Brief shot of James Moffat, he's up to 7th place. Great recovery drive. Ben Bargwanna and Jack Smith in behind him. Hazelwood, here goes Todd. Great run out of the elbow. He's going to be on the outside for the kick. There's a little bump and run perhaps. Side by side, but car 1 back to position 1.
Power to burn from the reigning champ and his brand new Mustang. So the TFH car, the number 1, moves into the lead of this second race, and now Golding with the work to do. This will be a race-long battle as Hazelwood parks it to the middle. The door's open for a moment. He leaves it open enough for a challenge on the way up pit straight. Tucks in behind, and all of a sudden Jordan Cox is there again.
So this has allowed the Schaeffler car to get right back in the mix, and Nathan Hearn as well. But it gets the nose up the inside of Cox, but there was no move in the offing. But Jordan's got a very good run out of turn 1. He'll get side by side. He'll drive on the grass if he has to. This for second. The 33 car's already there. He's clear. And now he'll go out after Todd Hazelwood, who leads the race. This is wild. Banging doors side by side, Nathan Hearn and Adam Garwood. Garwood looking to get into the top 5. Hearn clinging on.
And look who else is there. James Moffat, LMCT Plus Ford Mustang from 16th on the grid. Finds himself in lucky 7 on the tail of Tracy. Ben Bargwanna not too far away from this group of cars. Look at the slide from Hazelwood up at the top of the mountain. He wants to get out of here.
Well, I feel like he has to.
He has to.
There's so much going on behind him. Hazelwood serenely out in front, but this aggressive pack all trying to chase him down. This has been awesome from Cox. Unbelievable race from Jordan Cox. Yeah, it's been a bit of a yo-yo. Oh, no! He's in the wall! Cox in the wall! The 2 car goes as well. Garwood spins. Oh, man. It was all going so well. Jack Smith is in there as well.
Etten Hodson has joined the party as well. Oh, can you believe that? And such a precarious spot of this track. It is so blind down, and more cars arriving, including the TA2 leader.
There's some fluid down. We're hearing there's fluid down at the top of the mountain. So something's dropped oil.
Synchronised spinning happening down there.
Trans Am Precision Driving team going on there as they get them all around.
How do you unpick this? Craig Scatella is there. as well. Jackson Rice, Robbie Farr, sorry, it is in the Hi-Tec Oil Chevy Camaro, waiting for a gap in traffic here. Lachlan Evanet is there in the Cam GRM number 8. This will test out their reversing and parking skills, because that is a narrow section of Mount Panorama. Wowee, down the top of the mountain we went. So just ahead, was it fluid? Oh, you can see the cars are all stepping out here as well.
Yeah, it was. The slippery surface flag was flying, and the marshals had to get it out of the way on the entry. Drivers left to the dipper. Hearn, this will show it all happen. Oh, tippy toe, tippy toe. How lucky was Nathan? That is Robbie Farr conditions.
There's a big streak of oil down the mountain there. We take it from Coxtity. Yeah, got the wall. And watch around the outside. We didn't have drifting on the program this weekend, but we just got a good dose of it coming down the mountain. And there was those slippery surface flags up there. And still these cars trying to Austin Powers their way out of the situation in the middle, while these three just sit back with the popcorn going, guys, let's make this happen. I'm not sure they can get out of here without some assistance. And the second safety car period has been called. You can see that streak just in front of Kira Sabatakis' car. Also joining us, Paul Hadley. In fact, there's quite a lot of cars that have joined this. There'll be at least 6, maybe 9 cars down there that have blocked the track.
I just wandered down to GRM to Barry Rogers. This is not how you like to see. We have a car park literally at the top of the mountain there, and a lot of your guys were involved with nowhere to go and nothing to do when the road's affected like that.
Yeah, that's right, Noons. Cox is doing a great job, actually, and I think there's some pretty good vision out there and going across the top of the mountain in the wet, but he's not so good going across the top of the mountain with oil on the track, and obviously caught him out and a bit offline, and oil there got him, and a couple of our boys lined up behind him, but look, they're all having a good go, and it's exciting racing. We don't like to see the safety cars, but yeah, it's pretty exciting watching these Trans Ams.
They just quickly announced in the last few days that there's been a change with Trans Am and TA2. For those who might not know, what's happened with these categories?
Yeah, okay, so obviously in Australia we've got the TA2 cars and the Trans Am cars, all the same car, but two different race on two different series, and probably more the Am guys into TA2s and then move into the Trans Ams. And look, I just thought it was, you know, my dad Gary obviously took hold of all this, and we've grown it to a level, and we love our racing, and you know, we want to put our energy into our racing, and the TA2 guys wanted to, you know, get it all in one house, and it made sense, and we'll focus on our racing, and hopefully return bigger and better next year for a few more cars. Who knows?
Hopefully we clear this at the top of the mountain. We'll let you get back to it.
Yeah, nice to see a bit more racing, Noons. All the best. Good on you.
It's all null and void now because the race has been declared officially from Motorsport Australia Race Control. With 10 minutes remaining, unofficially, as it stands, it'll be Todd Hazelwood from Nathan Hearn and Blake Tracy scoring a top 3 result in his rookie season at Mount Panorama. James Moffat, James Golding, Ben Bargwanna, Elliot Barber. Then Josh Haynes, this weekend's big mover and shaker, the Herzog Steel Ford Mustang, from 41st to 18th yesterday, and will finish in 8th position ahead of Gomersall, who will take the TA2 Muscle Car Series now with Jared Hughes going down the field. In fact, Hughes got back up to 11th in all of that.
Yeah, wow.
It wasn't too far apart between them.
And Barber, what a recovery from him as well, up to a top 6 position after being elbowed out wide, top 7 I should say, elbowed out wide. Hazelwood will win the round and extends his championship lead in Trico Trans Am over Ben Grice. James Golding 3rd, Nathan Hearn, who will be 2nd for the weekend by 1 point over Golding provisionally. We'll get there. Well, here are the highlights. There are a lot of them in 7 laps of racing in Trico Trans Am here at Mount Panorama at the Hi-Tec World's Bathurst 6 Hour. Busy at the end. The big send from Jordan Cox up the inside. The outcome of that was Barber off the road. But man, these open laps were hectic.
It was Nash going to the outside of the chase with heavy damage and couldn't find a gap in traffic to get back into the pits and park down in the bunker. This was Grice right down the inside of Jared Hughes, who sent Hughes out. A glance at the Shannons wall there for the road active suspension Chevy Camaro. Lucky to get out of there, unlucky for Charlie Nash. That is a very heavy gravel trap, and the youngster parked down there, which would bring out the first safety car of the race.
This was the restart, and it was hugely exciting. At this point, Todd Hazelwood was 3rd. James Golding led the way, but Jordan Cox's car was awesome coming out of turn 1 every lap of this race. This big crash at the top of the hill, we suspect for Des Collier, set off a chain of events that would later just as we were talking up how well Jordan Cox was going, flew it down on the road, on the run into the Dipper. Several key contenders. Adam Garwood was having such a great weekend, running in the top 5 the Tasmanian. Jack Smith was in the top 10. He was going well. Several cars caught up, fluid everywhere. Nathan Hearn, save of the day, around the outside, Speedway style. And then this a little bit later on, Jordan Cox, bang, big contact. A couple of cars, they were still all sorting themselves out behind, unsure if on his own or helped in that contact, and that brought out the red flag. Todd Hazelwood wins the race. He's 5th from 6th so far this year in Trico Trans Am, and as a result takes a healthy championship lead into round 3 with Ben Grice and James Golding 2nd and 3rd. Hazelwood wins the round over Nathan Hearn and James Golding.
All these results unofficial as it stands right now until further confirmation, with the race suspended and ultimately declared. Todd Hazelwood listening in. Quick thumbs up from the reigning champ and collecting the win here. Unofficially will take the round, and that will cement himself nicely as we head to Hidden Valley for the next round in June of the Trico Trans Am Series. The TA2 muscle cars will head to Sydney Motorsport Park under lights at the end of May for their 3rd round. And of course, they'll visit some tracks, including Mallala later this year, and wrap up with Winton. The Trico Trans Am Series will have a back-to-back weekend once again with Mallala in November and the BP Adelaide Grand Final on the streets of Adelaide. Could we take it down to the wire? A lot of racing to come over the next few months in the Trico Trans Am Series and TA2 muscle cars. And that is it. All set and done from the Trans Am side of things, and we start building up to the Hi-Tec Oils Bathurst 6 Hour.
My thanks to you, Matt Nolte, for dropping in this
Thank you.
weekend.
It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure's been all yours. It's been very good.